Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Alright, in all seriousness, these Sundays are dedicated to the stories behind some of these paintings. And today I'm gonna take you in a collection. This is one of them in the collection. There's that one, and then that one, and that one. These three. Boop, 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 boop. Those three. Those are gonna be in this series. It's like a 3-series skull painting. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Tyler. I am an artist. I'm a little crazy. I like to be goofy. I like to make people laugh. All of my art is based around mental health awareness. And today I'm going to be going through this 3-series painting here. So give you a little backstory for those of you who are not new here. I appreciate you being here, even though I feel like I repeat myself a lot of the times. But I feel like when this video comes out, there's going to be a lot of new faces on my channel. So I stopped doing art after my mom took her own life back in 2012, and I ran from it for almost 8 years. I started creating again, and this series is very significant to a lot of the healing that I've done in this house. I've owned a home for 4 years now, and I've done a lot of healing in this place, and it's taken a really long time to get to where I'm at today. I still have my struggles, but that's human life. Everybody goes through their shit. So I'm gonna take you a walk down memory lane and tell you kind of the story behind these paintings and what they represent and what they mean, because a painting can mean something to me and it can mean something completely different to somebody else. It can make someone feel something different. You know, I think of my art, or art in general, a lot as writing a song. You know, sometimes a musician will write a song and it means something to them in an aspect, and then someone listens to it and they take it to a whole different meaning. It portrays something else different to them, but it's really important for me to share the journey and the story behind these pieces, because I feel like there's so much depth to art and there's so much more to art than just what you see with the naked eye. So let's get started. I'm gonna walk over here. And my camera's covering up my mess. I have a mess down here and I have a mess over here, but you can't see it. So we're gonna start with this guy. This one, okay, so I've had friends ask me, they're like, hey Tyler, do you have an attachment to any of your pieces? And I was like, not really. And then I thought about it. There are a couple. And this series is one of them, especially this one. This is the second painting that I created after I started creating art again. And as I was, you know, doing the vertebrae and I was painting the spine and stuff like that, I was going through some injuries of my own, some things that I was going through, not just, ooh, that lighting still looks snatched. Ooh. Oh, sorry, I got carried away. Maybe I should have a light down there. That looks really good. Wow, I should have a white light reflecting. I don't know, probably would hurt my eyes. Anyways, back to the story. So this piece is very significant. Like I always do, I paint how I feel, and I was going through some of the hardest crap in my life. There are some things that I did go through that I won't be sharing on my channel because they're very personal and they're very intimate. I'm not sharing everything. I share a lot about my life and I'm very vulnerable, but I won't be sharing everything because there's some relationship issues that I went through, some things that I went through with some guys that I dated, and just the whole 9 yards. It was a fun time, said no one ever. Your 20s is like meant for the learning. That shit is not easy. I've just touched the surface of the 30s. I cried on my birthday, but we're good. We're solid. We're living. I like 30 a lot better than 20 because 20, whew, girl, I was a hot mess. So this piece is called Healing, and it's my freaking favorite, even though my art has gotten a lot better since I started this piece. This piece is very unique. This is kind of what ignited my style. Back in high school, I loved shading. I've always loved shading, and I drew a big skeleton on the wall, and that kind of was inspiration. I've just always been drawn to skulls. I feel like there's so much depth, you know, underneath the skin is our bones and we all pretty much look the same. But yeah, this series is dedicated to mental health awareness, and it's pulling the light out of the darkness, just like all of my other art. This one, like I said, is called Healing. So the daisy represents innocence and purity, and the single tear going down is like the, you know, because in order to heal, a lot of times I feel like you need to feel your emotions, you need to cry, you need to let that shit out, basically. You know, when you shed tears, it washes away the worry, it washes away your sorrows. There's so much shame around crying. Crying really makes some people very uncomfortable, and I think a lot of the time it's because they're running from their own stuff. I don't think it really has anything to do with you. Vulnerability is very scary to a lot of people, so I'm a very emotional person. I have a hard time crying around people, but it does happen because sometimes I just can't hold that shit back. But so the reason why there's a daisy in this is because daisies represent childbirth, motherhood, and new beginnings. Basically, this whole piece was based around the relationship that I shared with my mom and the grief that I went through when I lost her. Me and my mom had a very strong bond. If you are new to my channel, you've known that I've talked about that a lot. Art was something we shared together, hence why I ran from it for such a long time. I feel like soulmates can go beyond just a romantic relationship. I think that there's anyone with significance in your life, anyone who makes an impact, your person that you go to when you have a problem, your person that you go to that you basically trust your everything with. I feel like soulmates are on a deeper level. Like, basically, soulmates to me are people that touch your soul. Obviously, there's different ones. There's your romantic partner, but I also think that soulmates come in the form of friendships, just any good relationship or strong bond that you have in your life. So letting go is, basically the tear releasing. There's abundance that comes with letting go. So the flower crown here represent a fresh start and just a new chapter in your life. Flowers are beautiful. Flowers have a lot of depth to them as well. And you can pass a garden of flowers and you can choose to either appreciate it or just walk by it, You have a choice, and there's so much depth to just plants themselves, and if you really take the time and look at them, there's beauty in them, and I think that people are the same way. So this moon here represents my mom, obviously. If you can't tell, the moon is holding up the wings. When I think of the moon, I think of my mom. I feel like when people pass on, you can see them in the moon, sun, the stars, and there's so many synchronicities and so many ways that they'll reveal themselves to you, and a lot of times it's when you're really missing them and you're asking for a sign. So if you did lose someone that you love, just look for them in the stars, look for them in birds, look for them. I mean, they'll give you signs if you ask them for them. Now I'm gonna get on to my second piece here. Put this guy back. Alright, this guy here is called self-care. As you can tell, there's a lot of depth in this one. The light bulb is a representation. It's kind of my way of thinking, like the sun. If you were to go to a store, a hardware store, Menards or wherever, they have things that are called daylight bulbs, and it kind of tricks your brain, and it kind of tricks the happy chemicals in it because it makes your mind think that it is actual daylight. And if you're a person that struggles with your mental health, or you're a person that has struggled in any area of your life, like such as with your emotionalness or your thoughts, or just kind of in life, whether it's addiction, whether it's loss, grief, substance abuse, like I said, this painting is just a reminder to take care of yourself. This is the second painting that I created in this series. I did healing first and then this one second. The light bulb represents taking care of yourself through the dark times. I know a lot of times when we are struggling, it's hard to remember, or it's hard to even get up and do the normal day-to-day tasks, but you really have to push yourself, and it's not always an easy thing to do. And I think a lot of times people who don't struggle with their mental health don't really understand. So this cloud here is, to represent depression. It feels like a dark cloud that follows you. So yeah, the umbrella represents the subject of giving oneself a fighting chance to the outside elements that are causing pressure, which is conveyed through the lightning bolt, because there's power in the struggle, right? And we have free will. We have the ability to choose whether we're going to stand up and fight or whether we're going to take it. So the reason why the reason why the wings look like leaves is because of the growth that you get overcoming your struggles. I feel like a lot of times we go through our own struggles in order to help others around us that are kind of going through a similar thing. I feel like the ones who understand mental health the best are the ones that have struggled the hardest. It's kind of like addiction, Sometimes people don't understand the depth unless they've actually gone through it. Think of yourself like a seed. You have to water that seed in order for it to grow, whether it's, getting sidewalking in nature, getting sunshine, taking a rest, taking a break, reading your favorite book, just giving yourself the time and the space to heal, journaling, all of those good things. And I know that if you're someone on the other side of this screen and you have struggled with your mental health, sometimes you can do all the right things and it still feels like that cloud won't lift. But I do know from my own experience in the dark times that have come, it always does lift at some point and the sun does shine. Alright, so we're gonna go get the next one. Hang this guy up. All right, this is the last one in this collection. This is the third one that I created. This is Transformation. I don't know why there had to be 3, but all good things come with 3s. I don't know, I just felt it in my soul, you know what I mean? You know, and with every spring, you know, you look at winter and there's a season for everything. There's a season to be born, a season to die. It says it right in the Bible too, and I'm not gonna get super biblical on you, but I mean, if you look at the rose here, roses are delicate. There's no roses in the winter time. The only time that roses come to surface is when things start again, when there's a fresh start, when there's a new beginning after everything died, you know, a death of oneself. And that's why these wings are meant to look like fire, because I thought a lot about how phoenixes rise through the ashes, and that's how I wanted to portray this one. So the reason why this is called Transformation, and the reason why it's the last in this collection, is because the butterfly speaks volumes. I have never, since like this is the first time I've ever painted a monarch butterfly or a butterfly in general, and I didn't do too shabby, if I must say so myself. But if you think of yourself as a caterpillar and you're going through life and all this healing you're doing, eventually you're gonna get to a process where you make a cocoon and you can't see what's happening underneath the surface. And I feel like a lot of times, you know, we're in the era of this self-development, heal yourself, healing girl era, and sometimes I think that we get so focused on our healing that we kind of forget who we are as a person. And sometimes when you're doing a lot of work and you're doing a lot of healing and you're doing that work inside of that cocoon, no one else can see the work that you're doing. And not only that, sometimes, you know, when you revert to old patterns, you can be very hard on yourself and very self-critical until you emerge into that butterfly and you reach a time or point in your life where something happens and you react differently, or, you know, you're not struggling like you used to. And then that's basically like your butterfly moment. The skeleton is admiring the growth. It's admiring the beauty. I almost have chills talking about this. It's admiring what it took to get to this place of happiness, what it took to get to this place of joy. The first one are very soft, angelic looking wings, kind of weak and wilted, and they need the moon to hold it up. And I don't know if any of you are familiar with this, but the moon is in charge of the waves, you know, the gravity and stuff like that. The moon has a lot to do with how the ocean and just everything has a connection, right? In the second painting, those look like leaves because you're growing, and these look like fire because you're rising from the ashes after your hard wintering season. I hope you enjoyed the stories behind these paintings. These 3 pieces have a very special place in my heart, and I know the day that the original does sell, I'm gonna be really heartbroken. These are available on my website for sale, the originals. It's www.rockinbakken.com. I also have prints. They come like this. They're packaged, all pretty. These are on 80-pound cardstock paper, and they're laser prints, so they're really pretty. I don't have any prints of Transformation yet, the third one in this series, but I do have prints and cards of healing and self-care, these 2 paintings, so I have prints of healing as well. And then I also have an option for greeting cards. Again, I don't have Transformation in these, but they come packaged like this. I packaged all of them myself, by the way. It took a little bit of time, but I just kind of want to give you some reference. These cards are really nice. The prints here run $20 each, and the cards here, they're really good quality. They're blank. You can write anything you want in them. It has my painting on the front, a print of it, and on the back it says Rockin' Bakken, has my website, and then on the bottom it says Mental Health Matters, because it's, you know, my initiative and my walk in life and just kind of how I want to help everybody in the world. It's gonna come a place in my life where once I reach a level of success and financial abundance, I want to create a fund. This is my dream, and it's gonna come to fruition, because you know what? I'm telling you, sweetie, I ain't stopping till it happens. But there was a time in my life where I had a therapist threaten to throw me into treatment for my mental health, and let's just say I was a little bit of a firecracker, spitfire, and I didn't end up going, but I couldn't afford to at the time. Otherwise, I may have considered it, but I had a lot of debt that I was trying to pay down. I was trying to go to work, and I didn't want to be a bad employee for taking care of myself. Now that I'm 30 looking back, I know how ridiculous that sounds because I wished I would have done it. But anyways, enough about that. What my dream one day is to do is I want to put money aside and I want to put it into a fund, and I want to send people to treatment, people who are struggling with their mental health. Maybe you're struggling with addiction, substance abuse, BPD, bipolar, all of those other things. And it's just very important to me, not only because art is something that's meaningful and impactful to me, but I was diagnosed with MDD years ago, which is major depressive disorder. And I remember having depression as young as age 5. I experienced extreme sadness. So I know what it's like to struggle, and there's a big reason why my art's based around mental health awareness. Art is what keeps me sane. Art's what keeps me happy. Art is something that fulfills my soul. So yeah, before I get done with this video, or before I end the video here, I do have cards of healing. I also have stickers, which are $4 each. These cards, these blank cards here, are $6.50. Again, you can get them on my website. Link is in the description below. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and so my paintings are more than just skeletons. People are like, oh, all you do is ever paint skulls. No, there's beauty in life and in death and all of the other things, and I'm drawn to dark things, but it's pulling the light out of the darkness. It's taking something that's dark and making it bright, vibrant. That's why I use very bright colors. It's very poppy, very eye-catching, because, you know, even though you can struggle and you can feel like you're in the pit of a hell, you can rise from those ashes, and there's a light to you regardless if you're struggling or not. You have good parts about you. You're not all bad. And that's what our mind tries to tell us when we're struggling. So I hope you really enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed hearing the stories behind my art, and there will be more videos like this in the future. I'm getting really excited, and like I said previously, I'm going to be releasing videos every Sunday, stories behind my paintings, until I run out of paintings or run out of stories. I do have a lot of pieces available. I don't have prints of all of my stuff, but hey, you know what? We are making leadway. It costs money to do that kind of stuff. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope it made you feel not so alone in this life. And until next time, my homages, have a wonderful week, have a wonderful day. Until next time, peace out.